You're watching DX Recap Shorts, the place where we break down movies fast, clear, and spoiler-packed. Whether you missed it, forgot it, or just want a quick refresh, we've got you covered. Let's get into the story. Our story follows Zoe Hull, a teenage girl struggling to cope with the death of her mother. Zoe believes she can still see her mother, and even has full conversations with her. Because of this, she has emotionally shut herself off from the world, which has also damaged her relationship with her father. Todd tries hard to reconnect with Zoe and often does this by taking her hunting. During one of these trips, he shares an important life lesson with her. Unfinished business should never be left unresolved. Zoe takes this advice seriously. When she wounds a deer but doesn't kill it instantly, she ends its suffering by striking it with a rock after returning home. Todd suggests that Zoe should see a therapist again, saying she's isolating herself from everything she cares about. This upsets Zoe, and they argue, clearly repeating an argument they've had many times before. The fight is interrupted when Zoe's best friend, Lewis Washington, arrives to pick her up for school. On the drive, they trade insults with bullies in another car. They also notice their classmate Chris Jellick planting a strange device in an open field, but they assume it's just a prank. At school, Lewis tries to ask Zoe to prom, but she immediately rejects the idea. Lewis says she's shutting down emotionally, which irritates her just like her father's comment earlier. After Lewis accidentally spills a drink on her, Zoe storms off to the bathroom. There she sees Anna Jellick moving ceiling panels. Anna quickly leaves, and when Zoe checks the panels herself, she finds nothing. Around town, several incendiary devices are triggered at the same time, except for one left by Kip Quaid in the school's front office. With fires breaking out everywhere, roads become blocked, and police and firefighters are overwhelmed. Suddenly, a van crashes into the school cafeteria. Two armed teenagers emerge, Tristan Voy, the leader, and Chris Jellick. They are soon joined by Anna Jellick and Kip Quaid, who are also armed. The group begins shooting students. Tristan orders everyone to use their phones to contact their parents and explain what's happening. Lewis calls his mother and leaves, a message saying he has no regrets. Meanwhile, Zoe learns what's happening when a wounded girl stumbles into the bathroom and dies there. Zoe escapes by crawling through the ceiling and falls into the school kitchen, where a cook is hiding. When Chris comes to investigate the noise, the cook tries to stop him, but he shoots her. After Chris leaves, Zoe escapes the building through the back door. Once the students finish calling their parents, Tristan takes a phone and calls the school's front office to report the shooting. School policy requires confirmation before a lockdown can be called, so Tristan forces the students to live stream the situation. He threatens the video platforms, saying he will shoot people if the streams are interrupted. As Tristan gives a speech about entropy and truth, the school principal and a security guard arrive at the cafeteria. The principal apologizes for not listening to Tristan in the past, hoping to calm him down. Instead, Chris shoots the principal. Allowing the guard to escape, Tristan orders everyone to turn off their streams except for the one with the most viewers, Lewis's live stream on the school's social media page. Lewis is forced to follow Tristan around and record everything. The hostages are then ordered to barricade the hole left by the van outside. Zoe considers leaving the area, but returns when she hears voices. She stops a group of students from entering the school and warns them about the attack. Everyone leaves except Cora, who agrees to help Zoe warn other students still inside. One teacher thinks they're joking and ignores them. To get attention elsewhere, Zoe and Cora break a classroom window. This works, and the entire class escapes through it. Zoe then pulls the fire alarm, but Anna disables it by shutting off the power in the electrical room. Just after the front office finally calls for lockdown, the bomb Kip planted earlier explodes. Police arrive shortly after, and Sheriff Tarsi begins securing the area. News crews also arrive and start filming from outside, though they don't show the live stream. Angry about this, Tristan speaks directly to the phone camera, saying the public wants to see him, not reporters. Inside the school, Zoe searches for remaining students. Anna finds her and starts shooting. Zoe is hit in the leg, but manages to escape into a room filled with balloons. When Anna follows her inside, Zoe uses the balloons to ambush her. They fight over the gun, and Zoe ultimately shoots and kills Anna. With Lewis still filming, Tristan goes to the Spanish classroom to escort those students back to the cafeteria. The teacher tries to reason with him, but Tristan humiliates her by forcing her to remove her blouse. As he's about to cross another line, Lewis interrupts by saying viewers have questions. Tristan enjoys the attention and agrees to answer them. He explains that the plan took 14 months to complete, including studying blueprints and gathering weapons. Meanwhile, A police officer visits Tristan's home and finds his mother dead, her throat cut. At the same time, Todd hears about the shooting on the radio and drives toward the school with weapons in his truck. Back in the cafeteria, Chris listens to voices in his head and hears on the news that police have arrived. He goes to the hole in the wall and opens fire on them. Hearing the gunshots, Tristan rushes back, forcing the Spanish class to come with him. Zoe sees the group moving through the hallway. When Kip separates from them and heads in another direction, Zoe decides to follow him as he attempts to reach another classroom full of students. Zoe suddenly steps out in front of Kip, deliberately drawing his attention and provoking him into chasing her. She leads him across a slick floor, and when Kip slips and falls, Zoe quickly grabs a fire extinguisher. She empties it directly into his face, then smashes him with it until he's helpless. Kip is dragged into the auditorium and handcuffed to a chair. There, he admits to Zoe that everything he's done stems from a bullying incident. Back in middle school, something he believes never truly ended. Zoe responds with disgust. He's calling him pathetic for using that as an excuse for committing cold-blooded murder. After taking Kip's shotgun, Zoe encounters another group of students hiding with their teacher. Wanting to get them out safely, she borrows a phone and calls Cora, who hands the phone to Sheriff Tarsi so they can coordinate a rescue plan. Sheriff Tarsi orders reporters to focus their cameras on him instead of the school, then calls Tristan directly. He keeps Tristan distracted with conversation while Zoe quietly escorts as many groups of students as she can toward the exits. Unfortunately, her rescue efforts are caught on the news, exposing the plan. Realizing the deception, Tristan abruptly hangs up on the sheriff and begins calling his teammates. Zoe has Anna's phone, so she answers Tristan's call. He demands that she'll reveal herself immediately, or he will start killing people. To prove he's serious, he murders a student. Zoe agrees to come to him. Before doing so, she returns to the auditorium and releases Kip. Overcome with guilt, Kip says he wants to die. Zoe tells him that he still controls how he'll be remembered and convinces him to help. She hands him back the shotgun. While Todd sneaks onto the school grounds and prepares his weapon to help his daughter, Zoe heads to the cafeteria. Tristan begins questioning her live on the stream. Chris, enraged that Zoe killed his sister, wants to execute her on the spot, but Tristan stops him, insisting everything must happen at the right time. Suddenly, Kip appears. After trading insults with both Chris and Tristan, he fires the shotgun. The blast only wounds Tristan in the shoulder before Chris kills Kip. Lewis is injured during the chaos. Zoe and Lewis seize the moment and escape, with Chris chasing them. They hide in the Spanish classroom. As Zoe tends to Lewis's wound, the two finally confess their feelings for each other. Lewis also tells her about explosives hidden inside the van. Zoe leaves the classroom to investigate the van, which allows Chris to find her again. She runs into the science classroom and turns on all the gas burners. When Chris approaches, the gas ignites, creating flames that force him back. Even so, Zoe's escape fails. Chris catches her, slams her head into a glass cabinet, punches her repeatedly, and throws her to the floor, just as Chris is about to kill her. Todd fires from outside the school, killing him instantly. Police rush to the scene after hearing the gunshot, and Zoe can only watch helplessly through the window as officers take her father away. Zoe picks up Chris's gun and heads back toward the cafeteria. Along the way, she finds Lewis's phone lying in the hallway and grabs it. She sends Tristan a photo of Chris's body, causing him to stop responding to her messages. Zoe then hijacks the live stream and tells Tristan that history will remember her, not him. Furious, Tristan grabs one of the explosives from the van and forces a student to leave the cafeteria with him. Seeing them exit, Zoe rushes inside and tells the hostages to run while Tristan is gone. One problem remains: the bomb in the van. Zoe solves it by putting the van in reverse and jamming the accelerator with Chris's rifle. The vehicle speeds out of the building and explodes in the parking lot. SWAT uses the explosion as an opening to storm the school. In the chaos, they mistakenly arrest Zoe while she's searching for Tristan. Another explosion erupts nearby, revealing Tristan's burned body. As SWAT secures the area, Zoe sees a vision of her mother, who tells her she loves her and says goodbye before disappearing forever. Zoe breaks down in tears. Outside the school, Sheriff Tarsi releases Zoe, apologizes for the wrongful arrest, shakes her hand, and praises her bravery. Zoe asks to see her father. Todd, still handcuffed inside a police car, shares an emotional conversation with her. They mend their relationship, reassuring each other of how much they matter. After checking that Lewis is safe, Zoe notices something shocking: Tristan is alive. He sneaks out of the school, having faked his death by switching clothes with the other student, so the authorities would mistake the burned body for his. Zoe retrieves Todd's rifle and follows Tristan into the woods. Under a bridge, Tristan digs up a box containing cash and a passport he had hidden as part of his escape plan. Zoe shoots him from a distance, then approaches and realizes the wound isn't fatal. She recalls her father's lesson about unfinished business and picks up a large rock to end it. But instead of striking Tristan, Zoe drops the rock into the river. She chooses to walk away, leaving him alive but dying, deciding that unlike an animal, suffering is what he deserves. And that's a wrap on today's recap. If you enjoyed the ride, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell so you never miss a plot twist. Got a movie you want recapped? Drop it in the comments below. This is DX Recap Shorts. See you in the next one.